this, members of Operation Dudula have given themselves 7 days to resolve a dispute over a property in Bezuidenhout Valley, Johannesburg. The self-imposed deadline comes after growing public scrutiny and criticism over the group's alleged conduct. The controversy stems from claims made by the brother of the late Johannes de Jager, who alleges that members of the group unlawfully occupied the property following his sibling's death. According to him, the occupants moved in without legal authority and have since refused to vacate the premises, despite repeated requests from the family.
Understand about this issue. We are joined by Mr. Tami Madonda from Operation Dudula. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Let's start here. What is your stance on what is happening? We spoke to the brother of the person that's presumed deceased. He says he is the one that is supposed, he is the executor of the estate. Therefore, he should be the one that's in charge of the two properties. Are you aware of your members that are occupying these properties, and why are they living in those properties?
Thank you very much, Zolani, for the opportunity given us as a right of reply. Hey, Gupizi, I've seen on social media and the earlier clips that were flocking social media saying Operation Dudula have hijacked the properties in Bez Valley. Well, I've got some news for those people. There is no such things as Operation Dudula has hijacked properties. They must try somewhere else. There's people peddling lies. There's people fabricating stories. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. You know the movie called Unspoken Truth? When the unspoken truth comes out, people will be shocked as to what are the real issues about these properties. There's two properties that were given mandatory by the community after they realized that a Congolese man was trying to hijack these properties. And fast forward, the brother, the deceased, disappeared. And that's when Operation Dudula was invited to come and look after these two properties. And that's how Operation Dudula became part of this. But fast forward, there was a case of a missing person opened. When the case was opened, the agreement has already been reached with communities that please, Operation Dudula, come and intervene. There's a lot of criminalities happening in these properties. We don't understand what's happening. Please come and assist us. So Operation Dudula became part of this process with the invitation of the community. Then the case was opened of a missing person. Now, because it's now in the hands of the law enforcement, we are waiting for the case to be finalized.
When this brother comes and says, now that my brother is missing, and he says he has in possession a death certificate of his brother, and says he's the one that's supposed to take care of his brother's estate, and he's asking the people that are occupying the property to now leave because you were called by the community to look after the property initially, right? What are you saying?
Let's just clear this correctly. There's different stakeholders involved. For your information, he was not even part of the initial agreement. We, as Operation Dudula and the community, had to look after the next of kin of these properties when the matter was brought to us. He was found later, but it looks like he's got another agenda because we are now hearing that he just wants to sell the properties. Yeah. We don't have a problem as Operation Dudula to give away the properties back to the owner. But there is a case open of a missing person. So because there's a number of people involved, the GP police station commander is aware of this matter. So there's a number of people that has to come back and sit down and say, now we've reached and concluded the case. Please hand over. It's not only going to be single-handedly by one person.
So if he comes with proof that indeed he is the executor of the estate of this person that's presumed deceased at this point, and there's also proof that, through a death certificate that shows that indeed this person is no more, will the people that are currently occupying, who are your members, be willing to leave the property?
At any given time, he will get the brother's properties back. But remember, Operation Dudula is also fighting corruption. There's a lot of, I said to you earlier on, unspoken truth. There's a lot of things that are still covered under the carpet, put under the carpet. So, because there's an element of corruption that we sort of like figuring out that how did it happen. So we are also trying to assist and giving the information to the police. There's statements being made by our members that has been submitted to as part of the affidavits in the docket. Yeah. So the matter has not been finalized, but at any given time when authorities says, please guys, Chaile, give the properties back to the owner, we'll do that at any given time.
Yeah. Earlier on, we spoke to somebody that we assumed, or still assume that he's part of Operation Dudula, who is the national chair, and he said that as the organization, they do not tolerate criminality. Therefore, they are against what is currently happening. What is your stance?
Like I'm saying, we are part of the process as Operation Dudula to uproot the rot and the suspicion that there could be any other thing that is wrong, that is happening within the process. Yeah. Operation Dudula would not promote criminality. Operation Dudula does not promote any wrongdoings within the organization. That's why I'm saying we'll give houses back at the correct time upon being instructed by the law enforcement. This thing, it's in the hands of the police. So anybody that tries to discredit the organization, we would not accept it. Yeah. So it looks like there are some elements that are trying to discredit the organization and peddle lies that we don't hijack properties. Yeah. This matter is in the hands of the police. We are dealing with the police. Yeah. GP Police Station has got the case number 6/9/2022. There is a case that has been opened against, in this matter.
Yeah. Before I let you go, are you aware of any legal implications of occupying private property without the owner's consent? And I'm saying the owner, which is the person that is presumed deceased at this particular moment, because I don't remember a time where you are saying that you were given a go-ahead to live there. You are saying the community has called you, but the community does not own that property.
But I'm saying also, when we became part of the process, having been invited by the community, we had to look for the next of kin with the community. Why did we do that? In order to hand over the properties to the rightful owner and ensure that the rightful owner eventually get back the houses. So I'm aware of all of that.
Thank you very much. Sir, just before I let you go once again, there's also been allegations of threats. These allegations that were made by the brother of the deceased, that he was threatened and he was told not to come anywhere near those properties. Perhaps you can also comment on that, because names were mentioned.
No. People will peddle lies. But the brother to the deceased, what we sort of like identifying and seeing, his interest is just to sell the property, regardless to find whether his brother died legitimately, whether his brother has genuinely died or not. So we are trying to assist in the process, assisting the law enforcement. The brother will be given the houses. Let the law enforcement come forward and say, guys, give back the houses to the rightful owners. We'll do that at any given time. We don't hold any rights to the properties. All what we're doing is to ensure that criminality does not become part of in the process. Criminality do not creep in and take over, because we don't encourage people to hijack properties.
Thank you very much for your time. So perhaps before we leave, we can call in Mr. Carl, and this is the brother of the man that owned these two properties that are in question. Carl, thank you very much for your time. You have engaged with Operation Dudula, and I'm assuming there's been multiple engagements before. What is the way forward from what you have been speaking?
We've reached agreement this afternoon with Freeman Bengu here. Freeman has made a commitment that it'll be resolved within the next 15 days. So hopefully it will be resolved, and he will revert back once it is resolved.
And lastly, we at Operation Dudula, we've got a housing desk which has been dealing with Mr. Carl, and the next 15 days he needs to, and as Operation Dudula will be speaking to him on that regard to solve the problem to its finality, because of Operation Dudula members who are in these houses are not in these houses because of hijacking. They were here because of they wanted to help Carl's brother, who complained to Operation Dudula because of illegal foreigners who invaded his house. And this is what we get all the time as Operation Dudula. We get people who complain to us, and once we get involved, things get sticky in the end. And this is the same situation. So we have promised Carl that we'll sort it out. And Carl, you are in agreement to us that eventually we'll sort out this mess, whether it happens in 15 days or 30 days, but there must be an amicable solution to this.
All right. And of course, if there's enough proof that indeed Carl is the brother and the legitimate executor of the estate, it means that your members will leave the premises so that he takes over as the brother of the deceased.
Madam, we've never disputed that. We know that he's the brother. We know that he's got documentation. Some documentations are sketchy because there's issues of death certificate, there's issues of everything. But we need to be certain of what we are doing.
Yeah.
And you know, we came here to take out illegal foreigners, which was a Congolese guy, and which we as Operation Dudula suspect that he's the person who killed his brother. But then we are not going to get that because SAPS is involved with that investigation. It's a matter of sorting out this thing amicably and with everybody involved. But Operation Dudula has never hijacked a house, especially houses which belongs to South Africans. The only thing we do is take out foreigners out of hijacked houses which belongs to South Africans. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. That is
Operation Dudula, a group known for its stance against illegal immigration and occupation of properties, now finds itself under pressure to justify its actions. Critics argue that the situation exposes contradictions in the group's messaging, as it is now being accused of the very behavior it often campaigns against. Community members and local authorities are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, with some calling for legal intervention should the group fail to comply within the stated timeframe. Legal experts have also weighed in, noting that property disputes of this nature should be handled through proper legal channels rather than unilateral occupation. As the 7-day deadline approaches, attention is focused on whether the group will withdraw from the property or escalate the standoff, potentially inviting further legal and reputational consequences.